This problem involves the use of the addition rule. So we've seen this information before in our first problem, the results from tests for marijuana use in a contingency table. So let's create that contingency table again. And as we had before, we had actually used for our columns, and the responses there were yes and no. And then we had our test results, and the responses there were positive and negative. Okay, and then let's put in the values. So there were 119 in this correct response or correct result that the person used and they tested positive. We had 154 in the category of people who had not used and tested negative. There were 24 people who had not used but still tested positive, and then 3 who had used but tested negative. So our column totals were 122 and 178. Our row totals were 143 and 157 for a grand total in both directions of 300 people who were tested. Okay, so now we want to use the addition rule. So let's say we want to find the probability that someone tested positive or they had not used. So using the formal addition rule, that would be the probability that someone tested positive plus the probability that someone did not use minus the probability that someone tested positive and they did not use. Okay, so the probability that they tested positive would be the positive result. There were 143 that tested positive out of 300 people who were tested, plus those who did not use. How many did not use? A total of 178 did not use marijuana out of the 300 that were tested, minus, now we want the probability that someone tested positive and they did not use. So we're looking for the intersection of positive test, did not use. So when we intersect positive test and did not use, we're right here, these 24, positive and no. So 24 out of 300. Okay? So when we add 143 plus 178 and then subtract 24, our numerator is 297 over 300, which if written as a decimal we would round it to 3 decimal places. We would get 0.990. So we can see in this contingency table how we would have picked up or double counted these outcomes. When we collected all the people who tested positive, see that we would have gone down this row, all these tested positive, we picked up those 24 right here. Then when we picked up for probability of not used, we picked up those same 24 again. That intersection there shows the overlap. So I got those 24 people here, but then I also got them here. So we subtracted off one of those double counts to get to the correct probability. Okay, so this is our formal addition rule, the probability of A or B. Probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B.